Yeah, that brother's starving.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yes, 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 yes. Y'all know what day it is. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everyone out there. What's up with y'all? How y'all feeling? I'm Walter Trotter the Sum, TrotWAM to others on Twitter. Wham Bam to others as well. This is WAMTalk Wednesdays. You tuning in from Who-Bangin Sports Talk Lounge. Also, I'm streaming live from our Periscope from Twitter. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in there. We also streaming live from the Who-Bangin Sports Talk Facebook group. Make sure you guys add us there for all you Facebook users out there. We are streaming live on Facebook as well. You know, I got to get this out to my fam. So send that shit out. Send that shit out. Shout out to all that is rewatching this as well. This is going to be an interesting show. There's a lot of games that's going on today, but I don't like that many. So I gotta go straight into what I do like. I'm going to take the 76ers first quarter minus 4.5. I already took that in. A lot of this has to do as a fade of the Houston Rockets. They are playing the Houston Rockets on the road, going on the road. Right now, they're at 14.5 favorite. This total is sitting right now at 221, which I agree with it being kind of low there. And as far as the line movement here on this game, it started off and opened up for this 76ers here. Opened up as far as the full game. Let's go into the full game because I like the first quarter here, but let's go into the full game. The full game, it started off, opened it up at 14.5. I want to say I've seen it a little bit smaller than that, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check here. I thought I seen it at 12. Maybe I got something else mixed up here. I've seen it at 13. So I seen that 13 open up at 13 for Philadelphia. Now it's been bet up to 14.5, rightfully so. This Houston Rockets team is going to be without one of their key players for the future, one of their key guys for this season, and Christian Wood. He's not going to be playing in this game. So that gives us a good look there that this, a tanking team that we already know that's tanking. This team is for sure on a downhill, and they're going against an opponent that's trying to go uphill right now. So they're going against an opponent that's uphill in the Philadelphia 76ers, who's been playing really well as of late, having the best defense in the league all season long. As far as starting off early, they have been starting off early pretty well as well, which is very interesting when you think about this 76ers team because they don't have any guys that's been shooting lights out. Like you would have thought it would have been Steph Curry, but he hasn't been doing that as of late. But I mean, as far as their last 5 games in the first quarter, they're ranked 4th in offensive rating and also ranked number 1 in defensive rating. So they're having about a 37.6 plus net rating when it comes to offense and defense in the first quarter. So they're coming out hot early. It's simply the opposite for this Houston Rockets team. Houston Rockets over the last 5 games, they allowed opponents to score at about, I want to say more than 5 points in the last 5 games. Like 3 of those times was double digits, allowing an opponent to have 10 more points in them in the first quarter. The only game that they had, they won the first quarter over those last 5 games, and it was against a, let me see here, because they lost it badly against the Minnesota Timberwolves, but like 10 points. And the other game here, it was the Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was the Warriors. They beat the Warriors 22-24 at the house on Saturday, May 1st. After that, though, these guys have been getting blown out, man. They've been getting beat up badly by 10 points by the Knicks. Next team that was recently there, that was the most recent game that they just had was against the Knicks. Before that, it was that Warriors. But prior there, they got blown out by the Bucks. Then they got blown out in the first quarter also by the Timberwolves. Timberwolves dropped 28-23 on them. So they already covered this spread. The Timberwolves did against this Rockets team. And that was the Rockets team when they had Christian Wood in the lineup, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Christian Wood was in that lineup, 38 minutes, 24 points for the full game. He was there. that's defense that they're missing out on, him not being in the lineup today, along with this team there. As far as Philadelphia, they're trying to keep this number one seed down locked. Keep the number one seed on lock. And I believe that they will keep it on lock. I think they're going to be one of the toughest teams, to go out east is the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, the Bucks did do well by knocking down those 2 games against the Nets, but I think that the team to beat is 76ers. It's just one of those things. And right now they're on a 5-game winning streak. They're going against a team that they really just going to steamroll here. I think they're going to continue to steamroll. I locked it in already. I'm on the 76ers minus 4.5 in the first quarter. I just think they're going to continue to do well in the first quarter. Once again, they have the number 1 net rating over the last 5 games. And this is the total opposite for this Houston Rockets team in the first quarter. They have the 29th rank net rating at about minus 22.6. Only worse team than that is the Chicago Bulls, who do play today as well. So we are going to cap that game. But the game that I locked in already, the one that I have action on, is the Philadelphia 76ers first quarter minus 4.5. I think that's a good play. I think these guys could get that double digit as well. As easily covered as 5 points here. So again, first quarters are very anxiety. My guy Ski says that a lot. You're definitely walking around on the edge and shit. But for the most part, having these type of edges with a team that's just ready to call it quits, I mean, they could easily have a game that they want to make out, but that's honestly just hurting their team long term. They got to lose these games. So starting off with a little lackadaisical, I think that's definitely in the play here. So I like that game. That's going to be the first play of the day. Now, I do have some leans here that I may make official here that I haven't bet yet, so I am going to break those games down. If you guys have any comments, y'all have any questions, make sure you guys say what y'all want, whatever. I'm going to try to keep this game going, keep this stream going until the games actually come on, because I want to see if we can get some live action. Shout out to Fast Eddie as well. Appreciate that retweet, bro. Shout out to Fast Eddie. But I believe that this is going to be an interesting card. Yesterday, it was a lot of half-point wins, have bad beats left and right. I mean, that freaking Cavaliers Suns game was very interesting. Those guys playing yesterday, playing today as well. That was an interesting game. Probably one of the most interesting Cavs games that I watched in a long time. And a lot of it has to do with them giving up 20 points in the second in the overtime and only scoring 4 points and allowing them to still cover the game, which was crazy. You push them all the way to the edge, play really exceptional defense all the way into the overtime, which was fucking crazy as hell yesterday. But neither here nor there. Since we're bringing up that game, let's talk about this Portland-Cleveland game. Now, Portland is 12-point favorites here on the road against a Cleveland team that just got their hearts ripped out of them yesterday. That being said, I like Cleveland. I want to go back to Isaiah Coro as well. He had a career high. I think he had 33 points. Right now, his points total is at 13.5. I think he can go over 13.5. I know my guy Jimmy is one of those guys that says when you have a career high, and I was thinking about this as I was watching the game yesterday. I was thinking about Jimmy. I was thinking about guys with career highs don't tend to play well the next game. It's kind of like a flat spot for them. I believe that this is not a flat spot for Isaiah Coro, though. Isaiah Coro, bro, having that career high and still having a small enough total that you could just have a decent game. You don't have to get 20 points to go over this point total. At 13.5, that is my lean here for sure. I think he can continue to have pretty good offensive output while Darius Garland is not in the lineup. And let me just confirm and make sure I look at these my apologies, you guys. Just make sure I look over these good old injury reports, man. Like, man, this season, man, if you guys rewatching this, I'm definitely fucking annoyed with this season. This season just doesn't sit me well, man. I don't really have a good idea like how this shit is going to end up. I am very confident in the playoffs though, because obviously we're going to have more meaningful games, more meaningful. A lot of these guys that we've been betting on and shit, they haven't been caring about the games. But again, I want to shout out to the people that we do follow though, like Ski Profits, J Money, is money. Shout out to Shark as well. Dutch boy fresh. You see me out here. I'm wearing the freshest look shirt. It's only right. It's only right. So we do have Darius Garland out for today. So Darius Garland is out for Cinco de Mayo. He may be drinking like myself. I ain't mad at you, Darius Garland. But since Darius Garland is out, my guy Ski made a great point, had a great prop last game, and it was the Colin Sexton over 4.5 assists, I believe. I believe it was like 4.5 assists, and a lot of that. And I didn't catch the quote that he was using as far as his capping on that game, but I heard him say it today that he came out and said that, well, there were players on the team that maybe slightly saying that this motherfucker don't pass the ball, and now he's saying that he's going to be a team player from here on out, basically, type of thing. Like, so he had 7 assists, easily covered the assist total last game. Will he bring it back again today? Now, I believe it did creep up. It wasn't at 4.5 right now. I believe it's at 5 if I'm not mistaken. And I like that shit, bro. Like, I like it again, man. And the first time when I bet it with Ski, shout out to Ski as well. First time when I bet it with him, I was thinking like, yeah, that's something I'm going to keep an eye out on later on. But for right now, like, just thinking about it, it might be one of those things that's for sure. It's 5.5 right now at plus money. Very interesting to see how this shapes out. I'm probably not going to play it, but I'm very interested in seeing how this shakes out. 5.5 is really low though. Again, he had 7 last game, but it just gives me a little kind of worrisome there on this game. But neither here nor there. I don't think you could really trust Portland Trailblazers to cover this spread, even though they are, in a desperate need to cover this game. Again, let me check out their standings here as far as where they're at right now. They're for Portland, I believe they're in a 7th spot. My apologies. So they're in the 7th spot. Lakers we gotta catch up. Fuck on us. Gotta get to that 5th seed. We gotta get to the 5th seed, bro. It's only right. But yeah, they're in the 7th spot. So they're in the play-in game. They lost their last game. They're right behind the Golden State Warriors, who just pretty much got themselves right in position. Grizzlies as well, another team that plays today, and also the Spurs. Now, right behind the Spurs is the Pelicans. Pelicans have been playing really good defense as of late. And if I'm not mistaken, let me double check here. Over the last 5 games, they've been having the number 2 defense in the league in the last 5 games. The New Orleans Pelicans, number 2 defensive rating, right behind the Philadelphia 76ers, who were back in the day. So they're playing really good defense of late. Shout out to them for doing that. Again, they're in here nor there. They're not playing today. So I'm bringing them up just based off of future references here. But this game with Portland, bro, 12 point favorites on the road is tough. Again, Cleveland just got their heart ripped out of them, allowing the Phoenix Suns to score 20 points in overtime, while they only was able to get up 4 points. So that's going to be something that's going to hit them, a little bit bad taste in their mouth, in my opinion. I think that, you're going to see a better showing for Cleveland because they played well. They played really well. I honestly believe that, it was about 6-7 points scored before before JB Bickerstaff called the timeout to try to stop the bleeding in overtime. I think it was a little bit more of a coaching error starting that game off. Once you see them go up first 2 points, you got to slow this shit down. Like, this is a tight game. You don't want to fuck up the morale, and which they obviously did, fucked up the morale, and they lost the game. So that's kind of where I was looking at them today. I'm thinking that the Cleveland could bounce back, and particularly I think that Isaiah Okoro can bounce back as well and go over I believe it's 12.5 points as far as his points total there. Let me double check here. I have it up right here. Okoro 11.5. My apologies, 11.5 points. You know what? I'm not gonna. I'm gonna lock that one in. I think Isaiah Okoro is gonna continue to play real, man. I think he's gonna continue to play well. I think he would get us to 13, 14 points for sure. So I'm going to take that. That's going to be my second play. I haven't bet it yet, but I'm about to lock it in right now. It's at minus 114. I'm on Bovada right now, so I'm taking the over 100. Over 11.5 points for Isaac Okoro. I keep saying Isaiah. Isaac Okoro minus 114. I like that. I'm gonna put a unit on there. You know what I'm saying? Just to win about. Let me see how much that shit bringing about. Okay, just to win about 88. So that's cool. I'll take that. So we're rocking like that. I'm just gonna drop it. You know, so I'm just drop a little bit on there. All right, so those are my first two plays there, and that's kind of honestly where I was leaning at anyway. So it's nothing really. I'll just talk myself into there. And if you guys see me in the chat, make sure y'all say something, bro. I haven't really been able to check it or anything. I know we're doing this at an odd time, but you know, Cinco de Mayo. I just got my shit off the grill. Eat tacos today. You feel me? It's only right. Okay, so next game here that I want to speak on, because some of these games I'm not going to touch. Washington Wizards, Milwaukee Bucks. Very interesting game. Short number for the Milwaukee Bucks at the house, going against a team that's going to be very tough out in the playoffs. I believe that's going to be a very tough out in the playoffs. Right now, the Bucks are third in the East. The Wizards are clinging on to the last spot in the play-in. A lot. They're about 3.5 games ahead. 3.5 games ahead of the Raptors right now. So you know they're probably safe there. They're going to be in the playoffs. It looks like, but they're going to have to go against the Celtics, which I believe that they could beat the Celtics. They got to beat the Celtics, and they probably got to beat the Pacers as well. And I think they could beat both of those guys to get in the play-in tournament. So that's going to be interesting to see how they continue to play well. Now, this Washington Wizards team, another team that's been playing really good defensively as of late. Now, last 5 games, it's been sliding off. I believe they're ranked 22nd over the last 5 games. But if you pull it back a little bit more over the last 10 games, this team, I believe it's the same. Is this the same shit? Nah, it's not the same. My apologies, y'all. Okay, so my apologies. So over the last 10 games, so last 5 games, about 15, 16. Last 10 games, they're ranked 6 in Wizards. The Wizards are ranked 6 in defensive rating. And obviously they're ranked 2nd in offensive rating. So they're very good up there as far as net rating. They're number 2 in net rating. Over the last 10 games, this Wizards been playing really well. It has been translating over to their wins, though. So they're 8-2 over the last 10 games. Been able to cover a lot of these games as well. This is a tough game, in my opinion, to cap. It's a tough game to cap because you don't want to discount the Wizards and what they've been doing recently based off of what this other team that they're going against in the Bucks, what they've been doing recently. Now, they just came off of 2 great wins against the Nets. When you're looking at the Nets, I don't look at the Nets as a full, complete team. I think they need James Harden back for him to be the main ball handler and continue to, get everybody involved. And that's going to be the full Nets team. I don't think the Bucks beat the Nets yet. So I don't think even though they're going back to back in small and very, very fucking crunch time fashion, they barely beat those guys. This short number shows me that this is a Wizard spot now. This has to be a Wizard spot. This has to be a money line spot. I just don't have that much confidence that we're going to see a collapse in the Bucks late stretch of the season. I'm not trying to bet against the Bucks late stretch in the season when all these teams, 76ers, Lakers, Clippers, a lot of these Phoenix, for example, a lot of these teams are trying to get their wind. They're trying to get their wind and try to find their rhythm, as of late. And this is a team I don't want to bet against, but Wizards, bro, they are in rhythm. They are in rhythm. They found the fucking formula that is triple-double rush along with wins with Bradley Beal closing. I love this formula, what they're doing. The bench guys have been playing pretty well. They got their guys shooting again. So you got Bertans making fucking threes again. And let me pull up his numbers recently because that's one of the reasons that I'm really keying in on Washington. They could get their shooting all the way on point here, bro. It's no way that they're not going to be in this game. And obviously the short number is showing us that they're going to be in this game. But this short number could just be meaning for me 2 different things. It could either mean that they're going to be in the game for Washington Wizards, or this is something that they're trying to stop us from betting the Bucks, and they're making it a short number to have us thinking a little bit different. It catch us off guard. Sometimes I think that way just based off of conspiracies and shit, but neither here nor there. For this team, though, The Wizards, the last 2 weeks, 7 games for Bertans. He has been kind of getting better at the three. 36% is not great. It's not great beyond the stretch. Like Ish Smith, he doesn't shoot his nut, but he's 40%. Another guy that doesn't shoot that much. Bradley Beal, he shoots about 36%, but he shoots about 4.5, 5 attempts. Bertans shoots like 6, 7 attempts, and he's shooting around that same. So you definitely want Bradley Beal shooting a lot more than any of these other guys. But Neto, another guy, Neto, he shoots about 2 threes a game. He's shooting at 56%. Very interesting there over the last 7 games for all these guys, as far as the stats I'm reading off. That's very interesting, but I'll just leave that alone here because I'm just scared to go against the Bucks. Crunch time later on down the stretch at short numbers. Big numbers, I'm thinking of going and backing them, but these short numbers, it's kind of sketchy, bro. It's kind of sketchy. But my biggest lean here is going to be on the Wizards. Don't really have anything on the props here. If I was to take a prop here, it would be an assist prop, and it will probably be a assist prop for Bradley Beal. I believe it's at 5. I would probably go that way, but other than that, it's no real big edge there. Next game that I like and I want to talk about is the Knicks game, man. Come on, Knicks are going on the road against the Denver Nuggets team that's been finding their stride since Jamal Murray has been out. That's another team over the last 10 games while Jamal Murray's been out. They've been ranked 5th in net rating over the last 10 games. As far as this team, though, for the Denver Nuggets, issue that I have with the Denver Nuggets is that they fucking defense doesn't come into play when you need it to come in play. Like they don't fucking play defense when you need them to play defense. You're going to play against a team that will play defense in the Knicks. The Knicks will be playing defense in this game. They're coming in and day out to play fucking defense. Now, Nerlens Noel is upgraded to probable, so now that gives them another rim protector there as well. Helps them out. Jamal Murray, again, he's out for the season. He won't be coming back. Jokic is probable. He plays every game. We're not worried about him. Now, PJ Dozier he was out. He had limped off. I believe it was a hip issue there or leg injury. My apologies, leg injury. This team, though, for New York Knicks, as much as I'm telling you they play defense, the market has adjusted to them. And they haven't been having short numbers. So over the last 6 games, they did go over 5 of those last 6 games. And this team for Denver Nuggets is kind of like the other way around with the market adjustment. They've been going under the last 5 games. It's been 4 of the last 5 games going under. But I believe that this team will possibly not play against defense again today. So I think we could see an over here. The total right now is at 215. As far as the market move, let's pull up some market numbers here. I was thinking over on this game here. And now this is very interesting here. This is a very interesting look here. So total opened up at like 215, 214 and a half, if I'm not mistaken. Look at Bet Online. They opened up actually 216. Bet Online opened up at 216. Bookmaker opened up at 214 and a half. I'm going to use Bookmaker here for this example. Why I believe this is another reason why it's going to go total, because the market is showing us that a lot of the money is coming in on the under, but yet the market is pushing this all the way up to 215 and a half, 216, which was about an hour ago. So it's got all the way up to 216. I think this will be one of those trends here that we could see towards the kick tip-off, which is this game comes on at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That, I mean, you know what? The funniest thing about this game, though, is that I'm saying that Denver's not going to play any defense, but I could see them playing defense. They like to be on some chameleon type shit, like when they play against teams. Now, they play great against the Cavs. Like, I love when the Cavs play it over there, but it's just one of those things. So, shout out to Rob. Rob in the chat brought up the Reggie Bullock over 13 cash, 10 games straight. That motherfucker is standing at the 3, knocking down threes. Me and my homies, we talked about this prop as well. It's more juice if you take the 3-point make prop. He's not going in the hole. He's shooting all threes. So for him to go over this, he has to make at least 3, 4 threes, bro. You know what I'm saying? I like the 3-point prop here. in this spot. But I haven't really looked at it and see what the numbers here. But we talked about that over the last 2 weeks, so I understand what you're saying, bro. And you're right on point there, bro. He has been cashing. He's like one of their key guys. And right now, you're getting him to make more than 3 threes, which is at more than 3 threes. If you hit at least 3 threes, is minus 120. Damn. I think you might talk me into that too, bro. What's up with you, Giro? What's happening with you, bro? Appreciate you, man, for sliding through. Rob, I think you just talked me into that one, bro. I think you just talked me into that one. Reggie Bullock over at least over 2.5 threes. For him to have over 2.5 threes is minus 120. And honestly, I think he could get 4. I think he could get 4, so we might have to take the over 3.5, which is plus 146. And that's the reason why I'm saying that he's not going in the hole. A lot of his shots are coming in for 3. No matter now that we're looking at it, let's just pull it up. Look, I already have it saved here in my I've been on this for a minute, bro. So yeah, he over the last, let's say, since April 21st, which was their game against the Hawks, he's shot more than 5 3-points. So 3-point attempts. He had more than 5 3-point attempts in all 6 of those games. So 6 games. He shot 6 for 11 against the Hawks, 3 for 7 against the Raptors, 4 for 8 against the Suns, and 3 for 5 against. So recently he only shot 2 for 6, and that was against the Grizzlies here. And I was on May 5th. May 3rd. Today is May 5th. May 3rd. I was a game off of a back-to-back, so maybe it was just a little fatigue involved there. But he's only shooting 9 attempts, roughly about 9, or on average about, just around 9 to 10 attempts a game. 6 to 7 of those have been threes. So a lot of his shots are threes. Why not get the 3? Let's just take the 3. I think we can get the 3 for sure. The 4 maybe pushing it, and the reason why it's plus 160. So I think we're going to take the 3. So I'm riding with that one, Rob. You put me on, bro. I'm going to take the Reggie Bullock to have over 2.5 3-point makes at minus 120, and we'll drop 1.2 units on it, a winner unit. That makes sense, bro. That is very interesting as well. So. But I'm looking at it like this. So even though Alec Burks plays and it kind of throws him off, and I'm just saying, like, sharing those minutes with Alec Burks is cool, whatever. He's one of those guys that's been I watched their games. He is one of the guys that's keeping them in the game, bro. He is keeping them in the game. And I'm sweating like a motherfucker right now, bro. God damn. Got me hot up in here, bro. Got me hot up in here, Rob. I appreciate you. But Alec Burks coming back is cool. But I'm not afraid. I'm not worried about that. If it was more of if this was a New Orleans Noel prop and Mitchell was coming back, I feel a little bit more, we just need big bodies down there to stop at the paint. They need guys to make shots. Alec Burks has been playing well this season, but he's been on and off the floor. They're going to rely on Reggie Bullock more down the stretch, especially if this is a close game. And we don't think this is going to be a blowout game at all. I don't think this is going to be a blowout game by any stretch. So Reggie Bullock should easily go over the 2.5 3-point makes, which is at minus 120. I'm knocking that in right now, bro. I want to get the 4, the over 3.5, but I'm not going to get greedy here. I'm going to lock that in too. So as of right now, we're locking in Isaac Okoro to have over 11.5 points. We're locking in the first quarter for 76ers. And then I'm also locking in Reggie Bullock to have at least 3 3-point makes, which is over 2.5 at minus 120. I love that look, honestly, bro. I might have to double dip on that one, bro. Shout out to Robert, man. Look, I don't give you guys enough credit. I appreciate y'all for tuning in on the chat, man. This is definitely a big help on my behalf because it's a lot of games here. I had a lean on this game, and it's funny. I just wanted to take the Knicks, but I think taking Reggie Bullock to make those at least 3 threes, he could possibly do that in the first quarter. So that helps a lot to kind of stay away from this total. I was thinking about taking the over in the total, but I'm gonna leave it alone there. That makes sense right there. I appreciate you though, Rob. I appreciate that, bro. Other than that, I don't really have any other games that I'm really leaning. I want to say Memphis as well. I'm sorry, not Memphis, but Minnesota. I want to take Minnesota as well as some of the sharps that's on there on that game. Obviously, a lot of the money is coming in on Memphis, yet the line is moving towards Minnesota, rightfully so. I think Minnesota has been very much fire as of late. It's one of those teams that you don't want to bet. They're a trash team. You don't want to bet trash teams. I've been fucking betting the Cavs recently. You know what I'm saying? Would have fucked up yesterday, but neither here nor there. But Rob, man, I really appreciate that, brother. I honestly was cool with just having 2 plays today, but that's good right there. I love that look, man. With Reggie Bullock over 2.5 threes. That makes so much sense there. Other than that, I kind of don't really have any other action. I will give you idea for the games that's about to start right now. The first game, the Boston Celtics, Orlando Magic. I mean, this game is very interesting to me as well. We could go and break this game down shortly. Let me see here and pull up this real quick. Excuse me. Let me take a little sound. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. This is a game I don't have any action in. I'm probably not going to bet at all, but I will be watching. We'll be watching for future references here. Boston Celtics are laying big numbers, man, against a team that's obviously tanking. This team is tanking so fucking far that, it doesn't matter. And a lot of that has to do with their offense, bro. Like Orlando Magic just hasn't been good offensively all season long. Right now, the last 5 games, they're ranked 23rd in offensive rating. But if we take that off, bro, and we talk about them for the full season, they've been ranked 29th in offensive rating all year. I mean, that's pretty much what they've been doing all year. They haven't been playing really good offensively. And that's where it comes down to Boston really making this number happen. Are they going to be making more shots? Are they more efficient than this Orlando Magic team? I easily could see that happening. I'm definitely going to hop on this one right here for you, MHP. Don't trip, bro. So I'll just break it down really quick here. I would lean first half Boston, thinking these guys would come out. But honestly, I don't trust them to come out and win this first half. As of late, let me double check here for the first half. First half stats for this Orlando Magic team. So they have, if I'm not mistaken, they have been fucking bad, like very fucking bad in the first half. Actually, I'll take that back. There's 6 of the last 10 games they covered in the first half. This Boston team, they're about 5-5. I mean, both of these teams are really nothing that you want to say here, but my lean was taking Boston in the first half just to try to cut this in short here, but neither here nor there. I think this game is very much of a pass. A lot of that has to do with what Boston has been showing us lately. They only covered 1 of the last 6 games. Over has been eaten over the last 5 games. All 5 of those have been over. They have beat Orlando Magic, though, over the last 5 meetings. So last 5 meetings, they have won 5 of those last time, 5-0 last time. So that's there. But let's go into MHP. He has a great question here. What are your thoughts on the Hawks game? Now, my guy Ski is on the over 2.5. If I'm not mistaken, let me double check if I won't misquote, bro. He's on the over 2.5. Damn, I just seen it. My apologies. John Collins over 1.5 3-points makes. And that's at plus 167. That's the only way I would look to bet this game. I'm riding with the bro. That's the only way I can look to bet this game, bro. That's the only way I can look to bet this game. Now, I would say that the Hawks are definitely probably the spot here. 75% of the bread is coming in. I mean, 75% of the tickets are coming in on them. The line is moving that direction. It's just kind of an all over the place market for this game, though. So there are plus ones out there. There are pick'ems out there for the Atlanta Hawks. This is obviously a team in the Phoenix Suns that's trying to keep everything alive, keep everything not alive. I'm sorry, but keep everything in rhythm. Continue to keep their foot on the necks of all the teams, and obviously the Jazz are right at their heels for the number 1 seed for the West. I believe that's the number 1 seed for the as well, number 1 seed for the league as well. Both of these teams are tied for the number 1 right now. The tiebreaker is owned by the Suns. They won the last 5 games. They're on a 7 out of the last 10 streak. This team for the Atlanta Hawks, They're getting guys coming back healthy. They got Trey Young back. They won their last 2 games. They're pretty much solid at the fifth. They're in a slight hunt with the Heat. So the Heat does want they would want to win that, I believe. But neither here nor there. I would think MHP, if you're gonna take this game, bro, you got to go with the where the market is moving. I think the Hawks are where the line is telling you. But I would say this as well. Now the Hawks aren't necessarily known to be like an early bet or a team that you would want to back early here. Like, at least in my opinion, I don't think of the Hawks as a team that you would want to back early. Now, for the Suns, you would normally would want to back them early, but over the last 10 games, they only covered 4 of the last first quarters. So 4 of the last 10 first quarters, they only covered 4 times. So I'm sorry. Yeah, whatever. You know what I meant. Out of the last 10 first quarters, they only covered 4 of them. Now, for this team in Atlanta Hawks, they kind of been playing a little bit better in the first quarter. Now, 6 of the last 10 at the house, they're worse than they are on the road. But this is similar with the Suns. They're better at the house than they are at the road. So you're getting both of these teams are kind of in uncomfortable positions, I would say, early on. But I would think that the Hawks would easily be a earlier play based off of what we've seen yesterday with the Suns. They did get pushed to the limit with the overtime with the Cavs. Had to get on the flight, come right here. Obviously, no practice, no any of that stuff. Just walkthroughs and go back out there and play. I can see them having some type of bugs here and there to shake off. I think that the early spot here will be Hawks. They've been playing a little bit better in the first quarter. I would say the first quarter will be better off than the first half as well, because the Suns are one of those teams that they could flip the switch and get back grinding. Also, the Hawks over the last 10 games, they only covered 5 of the 10 in the first half rather than the 6 of the 10 in the first quarter. So I think it kind of shows you a little bit that, they could give the shit up in the second quarter. As far as the second quarter numbers, though, I didn't get to look at that because this was a game that I didn't think about capping, because it's like I'm going to watch this game regardless. There's no need to bet this game. I'm going to watch this game regardless. And most of the time, I like to bet the games that I'm not about to watch. It's just some shit like that for me. Like, it just makes the most sense here. But neither here nor there. The number 16 points in the second quarter is the Atlanta Hawks. Now, holding opponents 2 points in the second quarter is the Phoenix Suns. They're at 5th in that span there. So I would think you probably would want to lean towards the early on first quarter in the Hawks rather than the first half if you're going to take an early spot. Phoenix is just one of those teams. I think this is a game they can kind of lay off, but even though they're tied with the Jazz, but they can kind of let this game go. That's how I would look at it. But neither here nor there. I don't have any real strong opinions here on that other than the first quarter Hawks. That seemed like that would be my look here. But after that, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to look at this chat here. No questions here. I just wrap up my plays and we can get up out of here. This has been WAMTalk Wednesdays. Right now, I'm going to be live on the first quarter 76ers -4.5. I also shout out to Rob. I got talked into. He really didn't talk me into it, but pushed me in the right direction with the Reggie Bullock over 2.5 3-point makes at -120. And then I'm also going to take the over 11.5 points for Isaac Okoro, who's just coming off of a career high in the last game off of a back-to-back. I just believe that he's one of those grind-out players that's going to continue to do the right thing, cut, and make sure he does whatever he can to make this team win. Defensively, last game, he definitely was playing great. I think he gets rewarded today and gets some offensive calls today also off of having a career high. I think he's going to get some good looks here and be able to get over that 11.5 points. Other than that, man, that's it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Billy Bisbane, my guy. Appreciate you, bro. We got to get you on here, bro. What's happening with you, man? Got to slide you on maybe on Friday or something. We're definitely going to have a lounge. Shout out to y'all that, hit me up. What's up with the lounge? Why we didn't do it last week? I appreciate you guys for being concerned and everything. Everything was cool, bro. Like, just got to be able to get everything on the right orders. And I had one of my guests kind of flake out on me and shit, so wasn't really there to record and shit. So that's what it was. And then Boss was out in Vegas and shit. I would have been solo like I am now. Neither here nor there. But I'm drinking right now. You know, we got 10 minutes before tip off. Don't really have anything on that game, so I'm just leave it at that. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe, tune in to the freshest look when it comes on. MZ Picks, my guy Marlon. This has been Who-Bangin Sport Talk, TrotWAM, Wham OG, and y'all already know.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Peace.